Okay, my friends, I finally revealed to you the completed Harley Davidson, and it's been a very long way till now. Lots of problems, decals, the assembly itself, lots of obstacles to do, which required me much more time than I was expecting. And to add even more to the time I took to build this, what if I told you if I didn't build one but two Harley Davidsons? And that's something I can't recommend to anyone, to build the same kit twice, because it really consumes you. I almost got to the point where I lacked the motivation to continue to do it, not only because of the problems I've had, but also because when I assembled one of the bikes, I knew I had to assemble the same thing again. The painting procedure was made at the same time. If I was going to paint, for example, the front fairing, I would paint the other one at the same time. But it doesn't matter. It consumes you. You build and paint a large kit like this one, and you know it's going to take some time. I don't know, the sidecar itself, it took me lots and lots of hours to paint one. Now you can imagine painting two. So moving on, this is the final review. Both kits are not how do I say, produced at the same time. You can easily see that one is far older than the other one, because there were things that were different, and some flaws in the production that Tamiya corrected over time. I'll give you just a quick example. The sidecar frame had one screw underneath that it's supposed to be 15 millimeters, and the older bike, I don't know why, that screw only had 13, so it didn't get to the point where it was tightening. So I had to go and try to find a screw that would fit there, and it's not easy because they're very tiny screws, and they're not widely available. So as you can see, I managed to fix the problem with the decals, but it's not perfect. The kit parts are so complex, with many curves and very complex form, and I couldn't get all of them to become perfect, especially in the sidecar, where you can see some tiny marks here and there, because it had to adapt here at the front and at the same time to the side, so inevitably the decal would start to wrinkle a bit, and no matter how much microsol, whatever solution you use, it would get that wrinkle, or it would just overlap itself, leaving that tiny mark. The other thing, one of the bikes, as you've seen throughout the build, had to be completely disassembled when mounting the exhaust, and that's also probably because of the different production lines that they came out, because it was the older one that I had to disassemble because the exhaust didn't match one to another. Other than that, my only suggestion that I make is what I did already also throughout the build. Don't do it step by step. It's a very complex kit, lots of parts, lots of parts that work together and not, how do I say it, immediately when you're building the kit. It will be a lot of steps further, so be patient, paint all of them, dry fit them, test them, whatever, because it's a very, very complex kit, and it's very easy to something to get wrong throughout the build. Other than that, as you can see, it's a magnificent piece. It looks fabulous, a very faithful replica of the bike. Still an ugly bike, because I really can't like this kind of bikes, so it's still ugly for me. It's the last time you're watching the Harley. I'm so tired of this kit, and I really need a fresh one to get my motivation back up again. So this is it, the Harley Davidson fantastic piece of art, if you want to call it. Tamiya really knows how to make these things, not without flaws, because the major of complexity of it, it's not impossible to have some kind of flaw. But in the end, it really catches your attention, and it's a pleasure to look at it. So there you go, Harley Davidson FLH Classic with sidecar, Tamiya 1/6 scale, and I really need to start something different. So see you guys on the next project, and until then, take care and see you later.